Well, hey there, everybody. Happy last hour or so here of summer. Fall begins coming up here, 9:54 officially coming up. So what we're looking at here, right on time, a fall cold front, kind of. It's stalling out, but it is bringing a lot of rain for a good chunk of the United States. For us, not so much. You can see the southeast here. Pretty dry. We did have a few of those isolated showers today, so a lot of us just missed out on those. Enjoyed a nice day. Some folks called in, talked about how nice it was, but you guys also want to know when it's going to cool down. I'll have some answers for you guys coming up here in just a minute, but you can see a couple showers here offshore for the most part. We're drying out here for this evening though, so some cloud cover from Jessup all the way down to the state line, but otherwise we're looking great here if you've got those outdoor plans. In fact, the next handful of hours, most of us will be spending them in the 70s if you're outside or inside with your AC in the 70s there, and it's going to be a nice one. Just enjoy it, get out there. But there are better rain chances coming our way, so I want to go straight to that. Appreciate you guys that are watching here on Facebook. I'm looking at your comments. Hello to you guys. It's taking a few minutes out of your busy evening and just spending it with us. I'll make sure I'll get those questions answered. But what we're looking at here, temperatures, how about this? 70s already. Yeah, the sun goes down a little earlier. We get some cooling and already down to 77 over in Baxley. Now, there was a little bit of rain-cooled air over there earlier, but still not so bad. So tomorrow, I want to talk about the rain chance because we do have some showers that are possible for us on our Sunday. And we're going to start off in the morning. So overnight, everything pretty calm here. But check out when a lot of us might be waking up in the morning here. Isolated showers here along the coast. And I'm going to put this through time here in a second, but you'll notice that these will be moving inland as we go throughout the day, similar to today, even though a lot of us missed out on those showers. Really, all of the showers today were south of Glenville. Tomorrow, better chance that we have some of those closer to I-16 and even into the low country as well. So this is about lunchtime, stop at around noon. Still going to have them in these same areas for the morning, going past 95 though. And none of these are going to be severe, but they just could dampen your yards. So if you have yard work to do, I'd get up earlier rather than later to do it in the afternoon. Peak heating tomorrow is only going to be mid to upper 80s for the area where the rain is there. So there's some good news as well. And unfortunately for you folks that want the cooler weather, are actually going to go back to the 90s midweek. I'll show you that here in a second. But first, the rest of your Sunday, this time tomorrow, likely going to have inland communities getting in on a couple of moderate showers possible. All of this will be dissipating as we go into the evening time though, and a couple isolated showers could remain, but I think for the most part we're drying out for this time tomorrow evening. Show you your highs here for Sunday, and you'll notice that they are just a little bit cooler, and that's really because of those showers coming in, keeping things cooler, not allowing things to warm up for as long. And how about 87 in Savannah tomorrow? That's not going to be so bad, but notice in the inland areas they're still going to be near 90, feeling like it of course as well. So let's see here, some people saying hello and saying hello back to you guys here, so I'll take a second. We got Nestor, Zachary, Chanel there, Janice, Judy, Carol, Jose. Thanks for tuning in. A couple of things that I want to show you guys now on the tropics. So we're switching gears here, going to the tropics, then I'll end on the 7-day forecast. But we do have a tropical storm. It is Kirk, and it's sustained wind only at 40 miles an hour now. Now, here's an interesting thing about Kirk. Well, first of all, this is very far away from any land at this point. Just came off. This is this wave we were watching come off the west coast of Africa. Now, this is what's interesting about it. Likely going to stay a tropical storm for a very long time, including its duration across the Atlantic, and still going to be a tropical storm. Most likely could briefly become a weak hurricane, but most likely scenario here is that it stays a tropical storm as it goes toward the Lesser Antilles here by the end of the week. So Thursday, these folks in the Lesser Antilles likely going to be dealing with some rain, storminess, wind gusts above 45, but sustained winds of 45. So there's one. Second one that I want to talk about is Tropical Depression 11. And this is kind of where Kirk could be Thursday, but it's where Tropical Depression is now. Notice this cone is very small, does not go out very far. Well, that's because it's going to lose its characteristics and just dissipate, so still could bring some wind 20, 25 miles an hour to the Lesser Antilles here for tomorrow going into Monday. Otherwise, not much more expected out of Tropical Depression 11. Now, this is one that some people have been talking about, and it's been interesting, not specifically or not technically associated with Florence. Now, I have seen some people say that this is a Florence round 2 or things like that on social media. That's just not the case. So what's actually going on here is we've got a broad area of low pressure, and this is south of Bermuda here. Only a 40% chance that this develops within 5 days. So already not a very good chance, right? But it's worth talking about, and it's going to move toward the mid-Atlantic, and then it's going to move off to the north and get caught up by that front that I showed you at the beginning of the broadcast. When it does that, yet to be determined, but I think you got to focus on impacts with this, and although they might not be high, it's really the location that is important with this, because if it does take a while to turn north, of course, you've got the areas that don't need the rainfall that could pick up a little bit more, nothing like rain totals that they did see already. But that's what I'm looking at, and right now, not worried too much about it. It would just kind of keep, I think worst case scenario for the coastal Carolinas is that it would kind of keep the levels of the rivers where they were for another day or so. Otherwise, not of major concern. But anytime you see something on a National Hurricane Center map, people just take interest into it. So I'm just telling you guys about it, what's going on there. Of course, we'll be watching it, especially within the next couple of days. Low country coastal empire, don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about for us right now. We're taking a break from the tropics impacts for us. But of course, got to watch out for our neighbors to the north. And now let's focus on weather for us here the next couple of days. I showed you earlier those rain chances going up Sunday. Another good chance coming up Monday as well. The clouds, the rain keeping those highs down closer to the mid-80s, but also we're back up low 90s here for the middle of the week. Next weekend, late really, about Thursday, Friday, we're going to have another front come through, stall out. And what's going to happen with that is, even if it's to our north, we could see a little bit of increased convection in the area, and that means a little bit better rain chances, and you see that reflected there Thursday, Friday. And then after that is whenever we could see highs closer to mid-80s more consistently, because this is pretty above average for us. Even for us here this time of the year, we shouldn't be seeing 90s consistently, which, you know, it's just out there a couple of times, but still. So I'm looking forward to the cooler weather. If you are, you're going to have to at least wait a week or so, and it's not going to be much. It's going to be a few degrees to a handful of degrees, and you know how that is with especially those early season cold fronts that come through, and this is hardly classified as what would be a cold front. You cool down for a day or two, you go right back up to those warmer temperatures, and everyone's like, well, that didn't last long. And that's kind of what we're looking at as potential for going into October. So I'm looking at more so a week and a half away for it to feel just a little nicer out there. But a week and a half away, some of those morning lows could be more so mid to upper 60s versus where you see these low to mid 70s. So it's something, just trying to give you guys the answers to the questions you've been asking about when we could cool down. Answer is just not within the next 7 days. So we'll be back tonight on D News at 11. In the meantime, if you have weather questions, shoot them my way on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, my Facebook page is tagged at the top there, and I would love to answer those for you. And leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. And again, fall begins at 9:54.